Thank you, Professor Lewandowski, for introducing that to us. I'm very pleased to talk about the functionalities that we've added in RAD this year. And I will not be doing it alone. Joining me is Sebastian Sünkler, and we are the developer team of RAD. I will start by updating you about the new features that we've added in RAD this year. We updated the interface to the new Python version and also the new Flask version. Additionally, we also collected some user feedback on the old interface, and we used this to improve the user experience and the usability in our new interface. And this is done through more direct support that we offer through information icons that we have next to each field, and this increases the explainability of all the fields, making it more usable for new users especially. Additionally, the old version did not have a selection for classifiers, but now it is possible to select classifiers from an existing list of classifiers. To add to that, we have updated the method to add select search engines, and this is done with the help of filters, which is also a new feature. You can now select search engines based on the location and as well as the provider. And as you will already hear from Professor Lewandowski in the coming sessions, we now have the query sampler, which is integrated into the RAD tool. And with the help of this, you can expand your pre-existing queries with the help of Google Ads API. And it's also possible to select the language and the region in which you would want to expand your queries. To add to that, we also have an example showing this, where you can see the initial queries in the third column and the expanded queries in the second column. And as you can see from something very small, there are so many new expanded keywords that we have received, and this can automatically be integrated into your study to scrape new search results based on the new keywords that are generated. To add to that, we also now have the possibility to define the result ranges for the studies, and this is now possible to make specific ranges that you can select instead of having to scrape all the results. For example, you can scrape the top results, top 1 to 10, as well as 91 to 100. Of course, this is just an example, but this the advantage of this is that you do not have to scrape all of the results anymore. Additionally, we also have a new classifier which was developed as an extension by Mohammed Elnagar and Sofia Bosnak, and this helps us calculate the readability score of a web document, and this is based on the calculation of FLESH reading E score and as well as FLESH Kincaid grade level. And for the same, you can see an example here. The web documents are listed, and in the second last column you can see the readability score that has been added for all of these web documents, and the results for these the classifiers can be downloaded directly from the RAD tool. Moving on, we will talk about the functionalities of RAD, and this will be done by Sebastian. Handing over to you.
Okay, thank you, Tuhina. Yeah, I want to talk, well, first of all, RAD is not completed. It will never be complete. So many ideas, so many things we can do with it, so many great possibilities to work with search engine data. And yeah, and also we saw that there are some extensions already available we have to implement into the tool to use it there directly and so on. So what I want to do is talking about some current work we do as a developer team on functionalities till end of March 2025. Well, the project will end of October, but yay, I will be around for some more time, and so I have time to to implement new functionalities and to add extensions to RAD So what we want to do is we want to develop a module which will make it possible to monitor search queries. So monitoring based on a time schedule. So you can say you want to repeat search queries every week or every month or so on, just to monitor changes on the search engine result pages, and that will give you some great insights. What will happen on a search engine result page, maybe when we will face another war or another controversial topic and so on. This is very interesting. We developed something like this in the background already, but it's not full implemented in Red. So this is one of the components we want to finish till the end of March. And another important module we want to implement is a definition of search tasks. Right now it's more like you can ask one question or just scrape search results to one question in a study. So a study is kind of one search task, and we want to make it possible to have several search tasks. Maybe it's too complicated to understand what I want to say here right now, but it's more if you're familiar with track style. So you have a search task for different topics. You could not right now define search queries for that task, but we will make it possible in the future. And it sounds maybe not so complicated, but it is complicated to manage in the background the database and so on. Something we want to implement to have track style studies as an option in our Red. So, and one of the great extensions we got is visualization of information retrieval study results. So measuring typical information retrieval stuff like precision, recall precision at K, and so on. And we don't have a possibility right now to do this diagrams directly in Red. So you have to download the results and upload them in another tool, or you have to use Excel or any other software. So this is a very great addition in the end. So there are always as I said, like recall precision, this is such of standard measures and scores you calculate, and we want visualization directly in the tool, and we will also adapt it to community-specific graphics or diagrams. So this is what we want to implement, and yeah, here further extensions to Red. So new classifiers to identify the affiliate links, to AdSense detection, also implement new scrapers for app reviews, and more and more and more. And the thing is here, you can use such extensions right now, as Professor Lewandowski said, as standalone, but we want to integrate it in the tool so you have all the tools in just one software. And this makes it also so complicated to further develop it. So, but that's not all. As you heard, our project will end of October, but we also applied for a next funding phase, and I hope we will get it. So you never know, but we have already planned features we want to implement then in Red. And so I will just give an overview about our ideas here. So what we want to do, or one of the main goals of the second phase will be that we will integrate Red and connect it to such software. And what we also want to do is we want to connect Red to research platforms like Prolific or other platforms to make the recruitment of participants for studies, heroes, to judge search results much easier. And yeah, this is one of our main goals, and I think it's the next important step, just to give the community a better access to Red also. What we also want to do is setting up a distributed server infrastructure, just to considerate personalization and localization better. So we want to make it possible to scrape from different locations, from different countries, and so on. Right now we have implemented a way to upload proxy lists to Red to simulate it in that way, and we also use so you can use different versions of search engines like Google Germany, Google USA, and so on. This is already possible, but also if the IP address comes up, it can also influence the scraping. So we want to have real locations. in the end, so we can make better studies to compare the results from different countries. And we want to create a mechanism to use profiles of search engine users as base to measure how it influences the search engine result pages, the results you get back. So a lot of great stuff will come. And also everybody's talking about generative AI, artificial intelligence, chatbots, and chatbots are important as new features in search engines too, and we want to make it possible to scrape chatbots. We want to make it possible to scrape the dialogues and so on, and to I think it's just natural that we have to focus on that. And another very important idea, it is already there as add-on based on the work of Hossam Al-Mustafa, is a logger, an interactive information retrieval logger, search engine logger. So we want to make it possible that a searcher just uses a web browser and any search engine. We collect what the searcher types in. We will use the keywords to scrape the results, so we have a real interaction of the searcher, and then we will make it possible to judge the results generated. So this is, we plan it as a browser plugin. You can install it in Chrome or Firefox or Edge, and then just record what the searcher does, how the searcher interacts, what keywords they use, and what results they click, so we can use it for our studies. So as you see, we planned a lot. And so every developer here is welcome to support us in any way, because it's a lot to do for 2 people. So I hope you got a better idea. I know it's a lot of input, and please just talk to me if you want to know more, or come to this developer session. We will discuss all the stuff there too, if you like. So thank you, and look forward to your questions.